Sobel. Brian, things far from settled, to be clear. When it comes to releasing the full Mueller report, how big a political fight you think we're in for, and how long until we see everything?
Well, we have bipartisan support to release the report, and except for things that are confidential or classified and names that may be in there that shouldn't be broadcast, I think most of the report will come out, and then once again, game on. I have been saying for a long time both Republicans and Democrats will find things in the report to go after the president with, or in the case of the president, to go after Democrats with.
Okay, so Mueller's report found no collusion with Russia, but it was a little murkier, a little less clear when it comes to this obstruction of justice charge. He found there was insufficient evidence. So he kind of passed it along to Attorney General William Barr and Rod Rosenstein to decide. Why didn't Mueller, as the prosecutor, make that decision for himself and not leave the door open?
Well, we don't know the answer to that, but it was clear that Rosenstein had been working on this investigation all along. There was a charge that they only had 48 hours to look at it. The fact is Rosenstein had been looking, he was in charge of the investigation essentially. So he was looking at it all along, and the Attorney General probably for better than 3 weeks. And they looked at the evidence that was there and said it did not rise to obstruction.
The evidence on the obstruction issue didn't rise to the level of being a crime that the special prosecutor felt that he could charge, but might there have been some behavior, once we see all the details, some behavior that, may not be becoming of a sitting president?
Well, absolutely. There may be all of that in there, but again, to be able to charge somebody with a crime, you have to have the solid evidence and not innuendo or anything else. At the end of the day, what we have learned about the Trump insiders at the time of the ramp up to the 2016 election was they were bringing people in from all over, didn't know many of them in a lot of cases. They were new to politics. I think they made really bad mistakes, and you're seeing how this is playing out now.
And we're looking ahead now to the 2020 election. A lot of Democratic candidates have already entered the race. Is there a fear, is there a danger for Democrats of this Democratic overreach if they push this too far, that it could backfire on them?
Well, when you look at the statistics around the Mueller report, the 500 search warrants, 500 witnesses interviewed, the 2,800 subpoenas and that sort of thing, I don't care what investigation you're running in the House. This really took on everything that you could take on in terms of speaking to people. So they could be guilty of overreaching. And if you think about it that way, this is why I think you're seeing Nancy Pelosi, Speaker Pelosi, I think, tamping down the idea of impeachment, and let's get back to talking about policy. You can run on a parallel track, and they should.
Yeah, and certainly this helps the president's chances of re-election, no doubt about that.
Well, we're still a long way away, and we haven't seen the report.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, political analyst Brian Sobel, I certainly appreciate you coming in. Thanks.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure we're not done talking to you about this topic.
Oh, no, not at all.
Brian, thank you.
You're very welcome.
You can, of course, stay with KTVU for